Thanks for studying with me today, guys. I have a real treat. We're going to do another Learn English with TV lesson. In this video, we're taking a little clip from Grey's Anatomy. Now, in this scene, one of the characters is apologizing. Have you ever had to apologize for something? We'll study how she does it, and then of course, we'll also study all the ins and outs of pronunciation. Reductions, stress, things like flap T's. By studying this way, a full in-depth analysis, it will really help you with your listening comprehension when it comes to TV, movies, or real life, and it will also help you sound more natural when speaking American English. It's amazing what we can learn by studying even just a small bit of conversation. Do you watch Grey's Anatomy? I used to watch it back when I was more of a TV watcher, and I was really surprised when I went online to look for scenes and I found it is still going on. I think it's like the 15th season or something. So I call this kind of exercise a Ben Franklin exercise. It starts with us just watching the scene. Then together we'll do the full pronunciation analysis. I'll make sure you understand everything that's happening and how things are being pronounced. Let's go ahead and get started with the scene.
I'm sorry. I just saw Meredith. Jackson left without talking to you? You just left?
I wish I could blame this on him, but I told Link about you before I even knew.
Jackson left?
I was really kind of awful to Owen. I was very awful to Owen.
Jackson left.
And now the analysis.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry. She uses the contraction I'm, which would be written in IPA with the I diphthong, I'm. But she doesn't really say I, does she? It's more like I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I've definitely noticed this before. In the I am contraction, people will take just the M sound and link it on to the next word. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Try that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So it's a short little two-word thought group, and the stressed syllable is sar. Sorry. And then the voice falls in pitch as it comes off of that stressed syllable. There are no skips or jumps. Everything is smoothly connected. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The ending unstressed syllable, just a really quick E as in she vowel. E, 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 E. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just saw Meredith.
Okay, then we have a little four-word thought group. I just saw Meredith. What are the stressed syllables there?
I just saw Meredith. I just saw Meredith. I just saw Meredith.
I just saw Meredith. Just and mere are the most stressed syllables there. Now, saw is a verb, and that's a content word. Those are sometimes stressed. But in a sentence with multiple content words, they're not all going to have the same stress. And I would say saw, even though it's not reduced or anything like that, it is lower in pitch compared to the other stressed syllables. I just saw Meredith. All linked together, smooth pitch changes, no skips, no breaks. What about this T? How does she pronounce that?
I just saw Meredith. I just saw Meredith. I just saw Meredith.
She drops it. It's common to drop the T between two consonants. So here it comes between S and S. And so actually these two words link together with just a single S sound. Just saw. Just saw. Just saw. I just saw Meredith. I'm gonna stop here for a minute, guys, because I have something important to tell you really quick. If you like this kind of analysis, I'm going to do 11 videos in a row starting June 18. It's the summer of blockbuster movies. We're going to be learning English with movies, and I'm going to make an extra free audio lesson to go with each video lesson. If you want that, you'll have to sign up. I'm not gonna bombard people with emails, so I only want to send people these free downloadable audio lessons if you want them. So if you want to study English with movies this summer, follow this link here or in the video description below. Pass it on to your friends. We're going to be doing this together. It's going to be so fun. I cannot wait to spend my summer with you. Okay, now back to this analysis.
I just saw Meredith.
Meredith. Make sure your tongue is not flapping for the R in Meredith or sorry. The tongue never flaps for the R in American English, so it does not bounce against the roof of your mouth. It should be pulled back a little bit. The tip is pulled back a little bit within the mouth. It's not touching anything. Sorry. Meredith. And then the two unstressed syllables are lower in pitch. Edith. And they have a different feeling, a different shape than mare, which has that up-down shape. Now, this does end in an unvoiced TH sound. Tongue tip does come through the teeth for that. Meredith. That can be a tricky sound for some people.
Meredith. 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 Jackson left without talking to you?
Stressed syllables. The stressed syllable of the name. Jackson left without talking to you? And the pitch goes up at the end because it's a yes-no question. And that is usually how we deal with the intonation with a yes-no question. It's how we show it's a yes-no question. Jackson left without talking to you? It's different than Jackson left without talking to you. Pitch goes down, that's a statement. Here, pitch goes up, it's a question.
Jackson left without talking to you? Jackson left without talking to you? Jackson left without talking to you?
The letter O here is the schwa sin, Jackson, sin. So you'll say that quickly with no jaw drop. Don't try to make a vowel there. Just S into N sound, sin. The schwa will happen on its own. Schwa gets absorbed by the N. Now what about this T? I said we usually drop a T when it comes between two consonants. Here's the F consonant and here's the W consonant. How does she pronounce that?
Jackson left without. Jackson left without. Jackson left without.
She does release it with a very light true T. So even these rules, we usually do this. They're not always. There's always some exception that someone will make. So she articulates that T.
Jackson left without. Jackson left without. Jackson left without talking to you?
Ta, without ta. We have a word that ends in a T. The next word begins in a T. In these cases, we link with a single T. And it is the true T. This T starts a stressed syllable. And whenever a T starts a stressed syllable that's not part of the TR cluster, it is a true T.
Without talking to you? Without talking to you? Without talking to you?
Without talking. Without talking. Now, are you noticing what's happening here? It's not talking with the NG consonant. She drops the NG consonant and instead makes it an N consonant. Talking. 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 Talking to you?
Talking to you? Talking to you? Talking to you?
Talking to. So she says talkin', but then what does she do with to? How is this word pronounced? Fully pronounced, it would have the true T and the U vowel. What do you hear?
Talking to you? Talking to you? Talking to you?
Talkin'. Talkin'. It's actually reduced to just the schwa sound. So sometimes we'll make it a true T, and then the schwa. We do that when the sound before is unvoiced. Sometimes we make it a flap T, talkin' da, 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 da. The tongue bounces against the roof of the mouth. And I have noticed sometimes when it comes after an N, the T sound is dropped altogether and it becomes just a schwa that links the words together. So she goes straight from the N sound into the schwa and then right into the U diphthong. talking to you, talking to you. Reductions like this, reductions and linking, it's just everywhere in spoken American English, practically every sentence.
Talking to you? Talking to you? Talking to you? You just left?
You just left? You just left? What do you think is the stressed syllable in that thought group?
You just left? You just left? You just left?
He just, flatter in pitch, left? That's where we get more energy in the voice. And it does go up again because, again, it's a yes-no question. That makes it different from a statement. He just left. He just left? He and just, unclear, lower in pitch, lower in volume. And what happens to this T?
You just left? You just left? You just left?
It's totally dropped. Comes between two consonants. The S sound links right into the L sound. He just. See how simply you can make that. You don't want to use a lot of mouth movement because they're unstressed words. We want to say them quickly, so we simplify things. He just.
You just left? You just left? You just left?
He just left. And then we do have a very light release of a true T here. We often release a true T when it's in a cluster. Here it's in the FT cluster, unless it links into another word. Here it's the end of a thought group. So that will generally be released with a light T sound.
Left? Left? Left?
I wish I could blame this on him, but I told Link about you before I even knew.
That's a long thought group. There's a little bit of a lift here, maybe between where I put the comma for grammatical purposes, but it's a lot of words. Let's look at the first chunk. What do you think are the stressed syllables there?
I wish I could blame this on him. I wish I could blame this on him. I wish I could blame this on him.
I wish I could blame this on him. And the pitch going up signals, I'm not done talking. There's more I'd like to say. Remember, these stressed syllables, these longer syllables are our anchors in the sentence. And we need those clearer stressed syllables in contrast to the unstressed syllables that are said much more quickly, much more simply.
I wish I could blame this on him. I wish I could blame this on him. I wish I could blame this on him.
So I is lower in vocal energy, lower in pitch. I wish I could. These words also unstressed, lower in pitch, lower in energy.
I wish I could blame this on him.
This and on, also unstressed, less clear. This TH is really unclear. It's voiced. And the voiced TH in an unstressed word can be made without the tongue tip coming through. Blame this. It just touches behind the bottom, or actually both the bottom and top teeth in the front. This. It doesn't have to come all the way through. But I almost feel like she drops it. That's how unclear it is. Blame this on him. Blame this. So you could try it with a very, very light TH, or you could try it dropping it and linking it in and see how that sounds.
Blame this on him. Blame this on him. Blame this on him.
On him. We sometimes drop the H in him. She doesn't. The S goes right into the aw vowel, on him, and then the N goes right into the H. Everything's smoothly linked together.
On him, but I told Link about you before I even knew.
But I told Link about you before I even knew. I think those are the most stressed syllables in the second half of this thought group. Everything linked together so smoothly, but I. The T becomes a flap T between two vowels or vowels and diphthongs, and that's what happens here. We have the vowel, the I diphthong, that's a flap T, and it links the word smoothly, but I. Here it's beginning, the T is beginning a stressed syllable, so it's a true T. but I told. Right from the I diphthong into the T sound, no break.
But I told Link about you before I even knew.
So we have LDL. I don't know that I would say she drops the D, but it's very, very subtle. And I think you could drop the D. I told Link. I think you could probably get away with that.
Told Link about you before I even knew.
Link about. Ending K links right onto the next sound, the schwa, linka, link about. About, stop T, about you. So a little lift there to signify the stop, the break in sound signifies the stop T. Now, another common way to pronounce a word that ends in T followed by U is as a CH. About you. Have you ever heard that? She doesn't do that. She makes a quick stop T, about you. About you
before I even knew.
Before I even knew. A little bit of length also on the stressed syllable of before. Before I, smoothly linked together. I even. Now, sometimes when we have a word that ends in a vowel or diphthong, here it's the I diphthong, and a word that begins in a vowel or diphthong, here it's the E vowel, people want to put a little break there, restart their voice, because they feel like linking two vowel sounds is too unclear. But we wouldn't do that. We would say I even.
Before I even.
Listen to how she links I and even.
Before I even.
Really smooth. And then here we have ending N sound, even new. Beginning N sound linked together with a single sound. So I just really want to stress how smooth everything is. Before I even knew.
Before I even knew.
Jackson left.
And she asks her question again. Jackson left. And it goes up because, again, she's asking it as a yes-no question. Jackson left. And a very light release of a true T there.
Jackson left.
I was really kind of awful to Owen.
Again, a longer thought group starts really quietly. And I was
really kind of awful to Owen.
Then we have a little bit more volume on really, which is more stressed here. And I was really. And I was. All unstressed, very soft. The word and gets pronounced just as schwa n, and I, links right into the I diphthong, links right into the word was, which was actually pronounced was. Very fast, reduced with the schwa. Let's practice just those three words together. And I was. So if you're trying to fully pronounce everything and say, and I was, it's going to sound really different, isn't it? And I was. That makes the anchor of the stress syllable really a little bit more clear.
I was really kind of awful to Owen.
Really kind of awful to Owen. And again, pitch goes up. She's not done talking. She keeps right on going.
Really kind of awful to Owen.
I was really. Again, big time was reduction. Was. I was really. Kind of. How does she pronounce that? She drops the D sound. Kinda. And she changes the whole word of to just the schwa. Kinda. It would not be weird to make the D sound? Kinda. I think that's actually more common to pronounce the D and then link it into the schwa. But it's unstressed, it's low in pitch, it's got less energy, and she does drop that D. Kinda.
Kinda awful to Owen.
What about the word to here? She does make that a true T and then a schwa. She could have made it a flap T, awfulta, but she makes it a light true T, awfulta.
Awful to Owen. I was very awful to Owen.
Now, I was very awful to Owen. Ver and O get the most stress, awful gets some too. Another was reduction. It's not was, but it's was. Said very quickly. I was.
I was very awful to Owen.
Actually, you know what? I don't even hear the word I. I wrote it when I was originally typing this up. I thought I heard it, but it might just be that I thought that because I knew it was there grammatically. But now when I'm hearing it, when I'm listening and really listening for that I don't hear it.
It's very awful.
Maybe just the quietest, lowest in pitch little vowel before was. What about to?
It's very awful to Owen.
Again, super light true T and then a schwa. Awful to Owen. And again, there's no break. Everything, every word glides smoothly into the next word within this thought group.
Awful to Owen.
Jackson left.
Okay, now what's different about this?
Jackson left. Jackson left. Jackson left. Now it's a statement because the pitch goes down. So the first two times she said it as a question, Jackson left. And now she says it as a statement, Jackson left. She wants this woman to acknowledge what that means. Jackson left. Jackson left.
And again, a very light release of a true T. So much to study in this short scene.
Jackson left.
Let's listen to the whole conversation one more time.
I'm sorry.
I just saw Meredith. Jackson left without talking to you? You just left?
I wish I could blame this on him, but I told Link about you before I even knew.
Jackson left?
I was really kind of awful to Owen. I was very awful to Owen.
Jackson left.
That was fun. To see the whole scene, click here or see the link in the video description below. We're going to be doing a lot more of this kind of analysis video together. What scenes would you like to see? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you learned something brand new, a reduction or something like that that you had never heard before, put that in the comments below. I love to know what you guys are learning. That's it, and thanks so much for using Rachel's English. If you want to see my absolute latest video, click here. If you're new to the channel, check out this Where to Start playlist. Click here to subscribe. I make new videos on American English every Tuesday. To be sure we can keep in touch, click here to sign up for my newsletter. You'll get free lessons in your inbox every week.